day 19 out of the 31 days of Halloween masks here on the channel. Tonight we're going to discuss a couple pieces, they're technically masks, of one of the greatest monsters of all time, one of the greatest universal monsters of all time. Some of you may even say this is your favorite movie of all time. He's kind of a lonely guy. He's green, he's slimy, he likes to swim, and he's the creature from the Black Lagoon. So let's check him out. My copies of the creature from the Black Lagoon. And stick around because I'm going to show you something truly magnificent after we check these heads out. Okay, look at these beauties. These are definitely some of my favorite things down in this room. You got the creature A and the creature B. Remember we were talking about the mummy A and the mummy B? Creature A, creature B. So these originated from the masters from the 1998 reissue line. There's differences compared to, whoa, there are some differences compared to, I know, at least in the creature A, from that original calendar mold to this. I think there's a couple small changes as far as the front of the mask here, and I think maybe the back fin. I don't remember. A lot of guys out there think I run around saying I'm an expert in this stuff, and I am not. Believe me, I'm a collector. I love what I collect. I'm passionate about it. But man, I can't remember every single detail. Not with all the hobbies I've got. So, Creature A, this one was a master copy I acquired, and I sent it to Kathy Tharp to have this thing painted, and I gave her specific instructions on this one. Lots of times you would send the Tharps masks and they would do their versions of things on them, but I kind of told her some details I really wanted. And what I did was I was studying the old Time magazine photos. If you guys remember those full color photos in Time magazine that showed those great images of the creature from the Black Lagoon, that is where I came up with some of the paint ideas for this copy. And I don't know if the camera is picking this up, but there's actually like some shiny gold accents on his gills and in different areas. Like the light will pick up the gold accents when I turn it. But this is absolutely a work of art. Kathy went all out on this guy, and we would go back and forth. She would do some painting on it, send me pictures, and in the end she nailed it. I mean, it was exactly what I was looking for, and it was way more than I expected. I was blown away when the finished product showed up here in front of me, but she did an incredible job on painting this creature A for me. And this thing, it's got a cool base that obviously when it was molded there was extra rubber, which makes a cool base for this mask. Here's where the mask could be cut out, and sits on that base. And I had the whole thing foam filled first, and it's huge. It's a big creature. Those reissue masks are all pretty small. Like I was saying, you can't really fit them over your head unless you're a very tiny human being. They were mostly intended for collectors to display. They weren't made as wearable Halloween masks. The one that came in the boxes in '98. But when you get a master copy, I mean, it is pretty much a full-size mask. And if this thing was not foam filled, I'm sure I can get this over my head. Much bigger than the production size reissue masks. But this thing is absolutely gorgeous, and she did a cool job on the eyes. And I said I didn't want super red lips like the calendar photo his lips are intense red paint. I didn't want that. I just wanted it kind of subtle. You know, fish don't have bright red lips out there, so I wanted it to be, well, some might in the ocean, but I just wanted it to be like a subtle color change from that green to that reddish color. But this is truly a magnificent paint up. And then this creature bee with hands, originally sculpted by Bill Malone. This is the creature bee. This one I wanted Rob to do. Kathy Tharp did the A. I wanted Rob Tharp to do the B. And I said, you know what? Just do it up like you would do in the 70s as a production paint job. And that's exactly what Rob did. Even these hands originated from Foam Masters. And I wanted a matching set for this bee. Let me set that there. I'll put this hand upside down so you can kind of see the details of the paint on the bottom there. I was lacking great creatures in my collection. I'm trying to acquire some vintage ones at the moment, but these are just gorgeous examples that I will never get rid of. They are amazing. And since I've been making these videos, I've been talking a lot about the Tharps and their painting and how lucky I was to be able to send them things and have them paint for me over the years. Being in a hobby where you collect vintage items and being able to reach out to the people that worked at the factory and painted them originally and have them do custom pieces for you, I said there's not many hobbies out there that you could probably do that. And I would urge people, like, you should get on this because someday they may retire. And guess what? They did just that. They're done. Rob and Kathy have retired from painting masks. And that is, to me, that's a big deal. Everyone, I started kind of going off years ago, having all these great things made by them. And people are like, you're kind of going off the deep end with these pieces. And I said, you know what? Someday they're going to retire and you're not going to be able to get this stuff. And I'm very glad I did what I did. I'm very glad I ordered these custom pieces from them back in the day. And I'm going to do a whole video coming up soon on, probably tomorrow, maybe, on all these great Frankensteins and Wolfmen that I had Rob and Kathy do. Now that I know for sure that they did indeed retire, I'm going to dedicate one of these 31 days to them. So, that's it. If you didn't get anything from them, watch out for secondhand pieces on eBay from time to time. They'll say if they're painted by the Tharps. I would snatch them up because the good old days of ordering those custom jobs from them is over at the moment anyway. Maybe someday they may change their minds, but these are amazing. And back to the masks. Okay, so I do have another creature down here, and he's right back there. See him? That is a movie mold creature. I'm gonna go grab him in a minute, but you'll see he's much smaller than these guys, especially the creature A, the master copy creature, just magnificent. I'm gonna try to keep him sideways just so you can see that amazing detail on that thing. He's huge. The Malone creature always wasn't very big to begin with, even the 70s copies, but still, this is a great set. I'm glad I got this. These hands are identical to size of a 70s production creature hand. They were matched up. They originated from Foam Masters, and after the castings were done, the castings matched up identically the same size as the production 70s hands. All right, let me get that movie mold piece down. So this guy I bought from my buddy Dwayne, and all I know about this is it came from Dan Roebuck's old collection. It was cast back in the 90s. It's a movie mold casting, and it was done for some sort of charity event. I can't remember the exact details of what that was, but this casting was made for that purpose. I probably should reach out to Dan and find out more about this thing. But this is a movie mold creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't know what generation, of course, but this is definitely a nice one. He was not cheap either, this guy, but well worth what I paid. But those are my 3 creature from the Black Lagoons. I've had others. I've had other production copies over the years, but these are definitely some of my favorites. And I'm going to show you something I just acquired that is quite amazing, and so don't you go anywhere. These now are truly a fantastic set of hands, and a very rare set of hands that you probably will not see anywhere else. There's got to be some out there somewhere, but I don't know of any other collectors that have these personally, but these are rare. So these are movie mold castings of the creature from the Black Lagoon, the underwater suit, and they were cast, I think, sometime in the 80s, possibly, from the movie molds, and they're nice and big. And actually, the talons on the ends, the claws, were attached separately back then. And you could see that yellowing is not, they weren't painted that color. That aged over time, that color. They were much lighter when they were painted new, and the coloring just yellowed, and that's why they look the way they do. These are in incredible condition. They look like they were made yesterday. Yeah, but I'm telling you, they're quite old. They've got old foam inside, and I would guess someone had the movie molds back in the early 80s, mid 80s, who knows, but these were from those molds, and they sat in my friend's collection for many years, and I said, those got to be on display. They were just in a dark corner all by themselves, and I said, someday you got to let me display those properly with a head. And that's what we're gonna do. They don't quite match my Creature A, but as far as the color, I don't even want to set them on their claws. I don't want to bend these claws, but I was thinking of either displaying them with him or trying to acquire. It's not like you just go buy blank copies of these masks. Very, very difficult. Hopefully I could find another blank of the Creature A and try to mimic this vintage paint on these. It's aged a little bit. It's kind of subdued and not very bright and vibrant, and I think with a little work I could match a head to these hands and make a spectacular looking 60s creature set out of them. But these are truly amazing hands. I'd say 9 times out of 10, if you're going to see creature hands in someone's collection these days, you're going to see castings of the 70s hands, which have shorter claws. See that? Those little tiny claws compared to the long, slender ones. So definitely, I've had people recently come to me trying to acquire blanks of these, and it's so tough. I think some surfaced, but they didn't look like that. They were kind of, they needed a lot of work, it looked like to me. Like they were several generations of casting, possibly. And the detail was not as sharp as these were. But these are quite incredible. Just wanted to show you guys as the closer to this video, because it's something you're probably not going to see anywhere unless you know some old-time collectors out there that may have a set of these in their collection. Pretty awesome. Definitely a great addition to the collection here. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked my small but great collection of creature masks. I think they're pretty spectacular. I'm so happy I had Rob and Kathy do these up for me. Now they're even more special because you can't get this done anymore. And I think the next video is going to be on pieces they did. on two of my favorite monsters. So I'll see you tomorrow with number 20.